Yo, I'm coming back again with another episode of Abinet's World. And working to place in context the reason, the supporting factors for my the anger. Bringing you the music, because the message is in the music. Why? How many fucking alibis about what's happening to our children? That's why. No one wants to suffer, everyone wants to live. No one wants to die when everyone wants to live. What does it take to live? 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 What does it? You know, it's so fucking interesting to me because I know me. I know what my experiences have been. And when I started out on the internet and connecting with the quote-unquote conscious community, when I even begin to use that terminology, because I'd never used that terminology before, I understood Afrocentrism. I had been considered and called Afrocentric before this whole notion of conscious community and the whole internet shit blew up. And I was working for the Department of Human Services during that time period. That would have been back in the early 90s. But since I've been on the internet and since I was introduced and worked to become an active member of the conscious community, it was at AsadaSecure.org. And many of the people acknowledged to me the level of positivity and positive energy and that I bring. And I know me and my life and my lived experiences. And I know that I have always been considered a very loving sister, people are drawn to. I had something useful to offer. I always had a positive word, if you will. And so damn smart. Very intelligent, always. So it makes it really difficult for me to comprehend and make sense of my current experiences with the way people treat, the way I experience myself being treated. For example, at destee.com. I became a member there about 3 years ago. When I first started Blog Talk Radio about 3 years ago, right shortly thereafter. And, I came to her site. I worked to build. I donated when I didn't even have shit. That first donation I made over there, I had just moved to Florida. I had no job. I had no fucking money. I got a state income tax checks for a couple of $100 unexpectedly, and a part of that, I made a donation. I started my blog talk. I introduced it to people. I introduced people to my website. And it was like, we're all working together. I'm still here at your site. I'm still going to contribute by sharing information, articles, and money. Yet, in terms of the blog talk radio, that's the piece I'm going to focus on. program. Many people I met there since then, Clyde Cougar Jr. in particular. It's hard for me to understand when people things like this happen, because what happened with there was I introduced my blog talk radio show. I offered to talk about, the different conversations and threads. It's like, oh, hey, let's take it to the radio and let's extend it and let's come closer and talk all together, more personal, and do the blog talk and interview and shit each other and talk, build from the work of the forum site. But I was totally fucking ignored. Or when people would come at me, it would be, well, what are you doing? You show improving. You don't know nothing. And, well, that's not right. And that's not. It's like, what the fuck? Ew, what? Oh, you thin-skinned. You this. It's like, what the fuck they got to do? And then they just begin to ignore me. And no one ever fucking came, or they came, like people would come a couple here and there, but not actively. Nobody would support it on the thread. People had a threaded conversation. Oh, yeah. But now here it is 3 years later, and I introduced Conscious Platt to destee, and Conscious Platt came to destee because this is fast forward 2 years. I introduced Conscious Platt. Clyde Cougar picked up with Conscious Platt, and he has been one who sort of actively uses words in a fucking way, and that's the behavior. It's the way we use words at each other to either build someone up or tear them the fuck down, and they always use them to tear me the fuck down and push me aside. Conscious Platt. Oh, Conscious Platt got a blog. Oh, she sings. She makes music. Oh, this is important. She said, oh, she got a blog talk show. Oh, everybody come and you posting and you encouraging people. But with my shit, it's like, and then you motherfucking had the nerve to take one motherfucking blog talk show where I actually fucking cried. I recorded myself an hour or so before the blog talk show, talking and crying through some shit. And I've never cried on my blog talk show in the 3 years that I've been on it. Really not like that. And that is the one show that destee calls in on with your bullshit June Cleaver voice. And then you take take that show, and now Clyde is going to play that show because and the only reason why you played that show was because destee was on it. You rotten motherfucking behavior shits. Please. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. And it's like, what the fuck did I do to deserve shit like that? What? And then one of the moderators at that site, energy, we connected, but you're a fucking moderator. You're in a role of, what? Administration. What the fuck kind of shit is this? Why is that okay? But it tells me and lets me know and gives me feedback to say, well, since, love your energy, positive, blah, blah, blah. But so I don't get it. It's like the mind just trying to make sense out of shit like that. So thanks for listening to me share.